think my grandma took on a lot because there weren't always other people to take it on. I mean, my mom and my aunts grew up in a largely white community. My grandmother obviously was very often the only Black person in the room, very often the only woman in the room. She didn't really always have the luxury of choice when it came to like, how are we going to do this? There is an ultimate goal and there is a immediate goal. And sometimes the ultimate goal takes total restructuring of everything. But the immediate goal means you have to go to the city council, you have to go to the state legislature, you have to go to Congress. The right thing doesn't just happen, right? You actually have to put in some elbow grease into making it happen.
My fear was more in '64 when I had to go to Mississippi. In 1964, Dorothy Height, who was head of the National Council of Negro Women, Dorothy and some of her Jewish friends worked on involving women in the struggle. They organized what they call Wednesdays in Mississippi, and they invited groups of women to go down to Jackson, Mississippi. So it was an organization of women, for women, about women, but that it was to be a secret. We couldn't tell anyone. It was very dangerous. People killed and homes bombed and churches bombed and children thrown in jail. My husband and I had quite a conversation about whether I should go. I had 3 daughters, 6, 8, and 10. And the question was, what if I didn't come back?
The enormous risk and stress that is to leave your kids, your 3 very young kids, and risk your life to be a relatively small part in a much bigger thing. In other words, it could have not worked.
But after a little bit of conversation, my husband being very respectful of all that I'd been engaged in, we finally agreed that yes, I should go. You'd heard so much about the Klan and other mistreatment of us as a people. So when we arrived at the Jackson airport, our host family had not arrived yet to get us. I envisioned the Klan picking us up, taking us away. Our host family came and took us to a very large Black Baptist church that was having one of its training sessions for instruction on approaching people, organizing people, and work towards signing people up to vote. There were Black men patrolling the church with shotguns to protect those of us in the building. When we left the church, we then went to a restaurant in the Black community, and we were told to be very careful.
I was on the board of the National Council of Jewish Women. One of the things they did right away was pull the drapes so that they would not see strange people, white people, in their house. Another thing we were told not to, if I was walking with my companion, not to talk out loud because they would detect a northern accent. We were told that in case a police car was following us,
that's right,
highway patrol were not our friends.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Well, you know, we knew that the FBI wasn't our friend either, so.
And if you'll remember, the 3 young men, civil rights workers, had not been found yet.
Beautiful bright red.
Yeah, and the swampy areas on the side, and I can remember saying, I wonder where those young men are. Maybe they're over in
One of those swamps.
one of those swamps.
We then went about our work, meeting with families, going to court, listening to our children being sent to jail and parents crying and reports of abuse. As a Catholic, I met with Catholic priests. We met with other denominations. We were all told how fearful ministers were to talk about voting rights in their congregations because they didn't know who was listening and who would report what they were doing.
This video raises some questions, and I need for you to be extremely honest in the comments. And just so you know, there are 3 questions. Before this video, have you ever heard of the name Josie Johnson? Number 2, do you know who Dorothy Height is? I will tag the video I did on her to this video. And number 3, what did you learn from this video? Now please share this video with anyone you deem necessary. And don't forget to like and subscribe.